Disclaimer, we required a wheelchair assistant for this video because the wheelchair we had to outsource came with small back wheels. Here the patient was pushed up a ramp of a low gradient into the clinic by the wheelchair assistant. Now the patient hands his ID smart card to the administrative clerk. The window is of an appropriate level for the wheelchair. He receives his chronic book and they are directed to the vitals room. They are allowed to skip the queue. Behind them you can see a broken wheelchair of the clinic. Therefore, we had to outsource our own wheelchair. The passage in this part of the clinic is wide enough for a wheelchair, and so is the doorframe into the vitals room. In the vitals room, there is adequate space for a wheelchair to fit next to the table. The vitals collector places the BP cuff and the pulse oximeter onto the patient and measures his temperature. The table which the BP machine is on is of an appropriate level relative to the wheelchair. After the vitals are recorded, the wheelchair assistant needs to maneuver the wheelchair so that they are able to exit the room to go to the next part of the clinic. This part of the clinic is quite narrow, and the space is made much smaller due to a mop bucket that keeps the sundry cupboard door closed. Now the patient needs to use the toilet before going to see the doctor. The door requires force to open it as it is jammed. Additionally, the patient must enter in reverse into the toilet because of a metal bar at the bottom of the door frame. There is a long passage to drive to before getting to the toilet. At the toilet, there are two handlebars for the patient to use to sit onto the toilet. The toilet is also at an appropriate height relative to the wheelchair. It is important to note that the toilet is in working condition. Once the patient has finished in the toilet, they can wash their hands without waking up from the toilet because the basin is nearby. However, the paper towel dispenser is much further away from the toilet and there were no paper towels in the dispenser. After the patient dries their hands using toilet paper and discards of it into the bin, the patient sits back onto the wheelchair and is then taken into the consultation room. The patient enters the doctor's room and is greeted by the doctor. Here the patient explains that they are coming in for a routine checkup. The doctor's table is also at an appropriate level relative to the wheelchair. The doctor directs the patient to the examination couch, and the assistant and the doctor have to carry the patient onto the examination couch as it is quite high. The doctor then adjusts the patient to carry out the examination. After the examination, the doctor says that the patient can go back onto the wheelchair. Seeing that the bed is quite high, it is very difficult for the assistant to put the patient back on his own, and there is a risk for injury to both people. The patient receives the necessary medication from the consultation room and now exits the clinic. Despite a few minor challenges, this video shows that Westville Clinic is wheelchair friendly. Thank you to the staff and patients of Westville Clinic for being so cooperative during our filming of the video.